Good morning. We're starting with lesson number 17, Theoretical Probability. Key ideas on page 415. So again, today we are looking at theoretical probability. Yesterday was experimental, so they're very, very similar. Theoretical is just the idea of what is likely to happen based on theory. So when all possible outcomes are equally likely, the theoretical probability of an event is the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes to the number of possible outcomes. So again, the same sort of thing. It's just what should happen. And so in our examples, it'll make a little bit more sense. Looking at example 3 on page 415, we can see that we are asked to randomly choose one of the letters that is shown. So what is the theoretical probability of choosing a vowel? So we have to look and see what the vowels are. They did us a favor and they put the vowels in red for us. So there are 3 options. So 3 favorable outcomes because we're asked to choose a vowel. So 3 out of the total number of letters available. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's 3 out of 7. The probability of choosing a vowel is 3/7 or about 43%. All right, looking at example 4 on page 415, we can see where we actually want to utilize theoretical probability. We did this a bit yesterday with experimental probability. So in this problem, it's saying the theoretical probability of winning a bobblehead when spinning a prize wheel is 1 out of 6. The wheel has 3 bobblehead sections, meaning 3 chances to win. How many sections are on the wheel? Total. So what they did is they said the probability of bobbleheads is the number of bobblehead sections out of the total number of sections. Set up a proportion, 1/6 is equal to 3 out of S, the total number of sections. Cross multiplying, we end up with S is equal to 18. Therefore, there are 18 total bobblehead sections. One way to check your answer is you can take 3 over 18 and simplify it, and you should end up with 1/6, and we do. Moving on to example 5 on page 416, this is where we're going to put everything together. So it's comparing experimental and theoretical probability. So the first part, the bar graph shows the results of rolling a number cubed 300 times. So this is experimental probability. The experimental probability of rolling an odd number, they've done the work for us. They've taken the 1s, the 3s, and the 5s, and they've added them up. 48 plus 50 plus 49 is equal to 147. So the experimental probability of rolling an odd is 147 out of 300. When simplified, it comes out to being 49%. Looking at letter B, it says, how does the experimental probability compare to the theoretical probability of rolling an odd? So here we want to compare. So when we can look back at example 2, or we can even just do the theoretical probability right now, odd numbers 1, 3, and 5, that's 3 out of 6 possibles equals 1/2, which is 50%. So we end up comparing 49% to 50%. They are pretty close. Looking at letter C, we want to compare the experimental probability in part A to the experimental probability in example 1. So the one that we just looked at here at 49%. Flipping back a couple pages to example 1, you can see where the experimental probability was 58%. So we can obviously see that in this example, example 5A, that's where we have a experimental probability that is closer to the theoretical probability.